Here's a couple of cool options when you're working with wanting to blend something. You want to make a bunch of these objects, say, around a circle. So all I've done so far is just made a very simple object, a circle with a gradient in it. And now we're going to make the circle that eventually we'll want our object to go around. But we want this to be no fill, and I'm just going to stroke it for now so I can see it. Eventually I will remove that. So I'm just going to move this down here a little bit. Now I could just take this object and blend it, but I'm going to do one extra thing, and that is make it a symbol, and you'll see why I do that. I'm just going to drag it into that symbols palette, and once I've done that I can actually now delete my original, because now I'm going to do is drag one onto there. So now I have this symbol. I'm going to use two keys. I've got Command or Control to get the pointer and Option or Alt to make a copy. I'm going to drag across so I get a copy, and I'm going to select them both, and then basically I'm going to go and get my blend tool. If I double click on it, you can decide what you want to do. Right now it's saying specified steps 8. Let's make it 10, so we'll have a total of 12. I click OK, and then I click on the first one and the second one, and it creates a blend. So we're getting there. Now what I want to do is have these objects go around this circle. So I want to remove the stroke, and I'm just going to select both the blended objects and the circle, and then from the object menu I'm going to choose Blend, Replace Spine, and that means instead of being on a straight line, it now follows the circle. Okay, so we're getting some interesting thing happening. That might be cool just the way it is, but we're going to keep going with this to say, well, what else could I do? One of the options that I could do is if you go to the object menu to blend and blend options, it brings back that same dialog box. As long as the preview is turned on, I could say, what if I had 12, or what if I had 15? Now you'll notice what's happening is initially it's creating them, and it's not really spacing them out all around the circle, and that's a bit of a problem that we'll fix just in a moment. But you can still see you can get some interesting options. So let's put it back down to some smaller number. And here's one of the weirdest tricks in Illustrator. If you want these objects evenly spaced around the circle, what you have to do is take the scissor tool and basically put a cut right on the circle. And when you do that, look at that. Because it's now an open path, it does a nice even spacing all the way around. So now, once again, we could go Blend Options and decide maybe we don't want quite as many. I'm just pressing the Tab key once I put in the number to see the results and say, okay, that looks pretty good. So I could stop right at that point, but you'll remember part of the reason that I made a symbol initially is so that I could change my mind. So I could get all to this point, like everything about it except the color. So I'm just going to drag the symbol out. I'm going to expand it so I can actually edit it. And what we're going to do is basically simply, let's get the fill here. Go to my swatches, and we'll just say we want this to be more green to, say, a lighter green. It's going to look pretty weird, but it'll work. Okay, so now we've redefined this object, but now what we want to do is redefine the symbol. So to do that, we take our Move tool, the Selection tool, with the Option or Alt key held down, drag it right on top of that existing symbol. That'll tell Illustrator to replace that symbol, and wherever it's used, it will change. So because we changed it overall in the Symbols dialog box, that symbol updated automatically. So at any time I could change the number of objects in that blend and the color of the objects in the blend simply by using those two things together, symbols and blend with replace spine. Try it for yourself. I think you'll find it quite useful. I'm Dave Cross. I'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is RC. I'm the co-host of Layers TV. If you liked what you saw here, make sure you check out layersmagazine.com for more free tutorials on the latest Adobe apps.